Hey y'all, and welcome to today's video. I have this awesome PR box from Martine Cosmetics. Look how cool this is, like an emergency kit, because we have a full collection. This is the Mayday collection from Martine Cosmetics. They sent me everything. We have a palette, we have a highlighter palette, we have lip products, a new category for Martine Cosmetics, dipping into lip oils, eyeliners. Listen, we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna do 2 eye looks. We're gonna swatch everything. I'm gonna play with this collection. We're gonna see what we think about it. Let's jump into it. Y'all, Martine Cosmetics sent me their new Mayday collection. It's like Shark Attack inspired, very Jaws themed, and I'm very, very excited to sit down and play with this collection with y'all. This collection is available now on the Martine Cosmetics site. I will link it down below, and I will also link to BeautyBay. It's not at BeautyBay at the time that I'm filming this, but Martine Cosmetics usually does send a lot of their stuff over to BeautyBay, so I will link there as well. But let me show you this, let me show you the presentation of this, because I think this is so cool, so themey. I'm so into the packaging. Okay, so opening the box up, we have the Mayday collection. I'm definitely keeping this cool box. And you see, we have the Mayday palette, we have the lip oils, we have a liquid eyeliners, and then the highlighter palette. So all the outer packaging is super beautiful, and I say all the time, I'm not somebody who normally keeps the outer packaging to things unless it is this cool, and then I have to keep it. But let me show you all the items inside. All right, y'all, I did lip swatches of the new lip oils from Martine Cosmetics. I have never tried a lip oil from Martine, so I'm excited to see them expanding and doing some new different products. I thought it would be fun just to try these on the lips so that you can see how they look. We do have 3 shades, a more really light pinky nude color, an orange, and a red. They are very sheer, and they feel like a gloss on the lips. They feel like a very hydrating gloss. They're not one of those super thin lip oils, but it also doesn't feel goopy. It really just feels like a really nice hydrating gloss. I believe these are supposed to have a scent. I could not really smell them. I tried, but I couldn't smell it. Feels very comfortable and nourishing. Okay, the theming of this is so on point. This is the eyeshadow palette. You see it's like a shark. This is like the gills, and then they made it with a scrape into the Martine logo. I honestly got this and I had to like call my husband and son in. I was like, y'all have to look at this. My son loves Jaws. So we had a fun time looking at this. The packaging, like it just kind of feels like shark, you know? So let me show you a close-up of the inside. Let me show you my swatches. Martine Cosmetics for me has been a brand that is very consistent in their eyeshadows. The mattes are always pigmented, easy to blend. You can layer them, you can build them up, you can start light to dark, dark to light. It doesn't matter, they always perform well. The shimmers are very beautiful, true shimmers. There's some shades in here that have more shimmer and sparkle than others, some that are a more smooth shimmer, but Martine Cosmetics, they are very consistent, and I really appreciate that about them. The shimmers are always really pretty, and I feel like if you have texture on your lids or something like that, and you think some shimmer formulas may emphasize that texture, that's not something you want. Martine Cosmetics has a formula that I feel like is very flattering to the lids. It doesn't emphasize anything that you may not want emphasized, you know? So I'm excited to play with that. Then let's talk about the Shark Zone Highlighter Trio. This is cool. I have had highlighters from Martine, and I love a colorful highlighter. So let me show you swatches on my hand of this. We will also put this on the face, but the embossings on the pan, no detail like skipped on this one. So we have a silvery type of highlighter, a more like sand warm type of highlighter, and then we do have a fun blue highlighter. So when I did my swatches and I've been using this, I've been trying to stay on the outside of the embossing so it will stay there as long as possible because they're deep in the pan and really pretty. We also have a really nice mirror in here, so I'm excited about that. And last but not least, there are 3 of their pencil eyeliners in this collection and 1 new liquid liner. So we have a blue, a navy blue, a silver, and then a royal blue. So let me show you swatches on my hand of these. I will say I love the Martine Cosmetics liquid eyeliner. It is a felt tip, which normally isn't my preference, but there's something about this that glides so well. It stays, it doesn't budge, it doesn't feather. I have the purple one that Martine Cosmetics sent me, and I loved it so much that I went and I had to buy the black. I'm like, I need this. I need this. So I'm super excited to have a blue. And then if you know me, you know I love these pencils. They go in the waterline, they glide, and they don't move. They stay all day. So Martine Cosmetics could come out with 1,000 colors and I will be right there for it. So I do want to put the highlighter on my face, use the eyeliners, use the palette. I am going to do 2 different eye looks and we're just gonna have a good time. We are going to play. I am super excited to play with this. So let me grab my eyeshadow primer and zoom y'all in, and actually I think we'll highlight first. Okay, let's do highlighter first. I'm going to try to do all 3 shades on my face. We'll do 1 on each cheek and then we'll do 1 down the nose. I have my Sigma color switch so I can clean my brush off, and I'm going to use my FO3 from Sigma. I will link everything that I talk about down below in the description box. So let's start with maybe this K, the one that has the shark tooth embossed on the pan. And why don't we highlight right here? Oh yeah, that is a cool toned blue highlighter. I personally love a colorful highlight. I think they're so fun. And for me, makeup is not about trying to look better, because listen, you already look amazing. The way you woke up today, you look amazing. For me, makeup is about creativity and fun. And I feel like colorful highlighters are versatile because I like to use them on the eyes too, especially for like an inner corner highlight. But here is that shade. This formula does have a little bit of sparkle, but it is not what I would call like a sparkly highlighter where you put it on and all you see is sparkle. I definitely feel like we get that wet effect, and then we still have some sparkle that can be dispersed. So I did go in with a heavy hand just because I really want you to be able to see it. So of course you could also go in with a little bit less product too, but that's definitely giving me a wet skin effect. I'm here for it. Let me wipe off my brush and we'll go in with a different shade right over here. Okay, let's go in with Meg. Let's do this one right here because I think this one is one that more people will feel comfortable with because it is a more like, I wouldn't say it's a traditional highlight shade because it does look like it has this kind of sandy undertone, but it's definitely not blue. So let's put that on here. Oh, that's beautiful. And that has less sparkle than that first shade that we used. So really beautiful wet look, really beautiful glow. Okay, so here's what the highlights are looking like on the skin. Let me wipe off my brush on my Sigma switch and we will put this other one down the nose. Okay, so we're going in with Sydney now. We have like jaws or shark embossed on the pan with this one. So I'm gonna dip my brush and let's put this on the nose. Yeah, the formulas of these are so nice. Definitely that wet looking highlight. And I think this is looking way different than I thought. Like it's looking so beautiful. But I'm going to continue to carry Sydney down the nose like this. So here's what our highlights are looking like. Yeah, this shade Meg definitely does not have as much like sparkle to it, more of that wet sheen. This is really pretty. So I know Sydney, we're not going to see quite as much because I'm just putting it on the nose, but I do like trying all 3 shades on for y'all. Really beautiful. Okay, I'm probably going to blend all 3 together so that I have a cohesive highlighted look, and then I will grab my eye primer, and we are going to play with this really cool palette. Like, every time I touch it, it just feels cool. Like, whoever designed the outer packaging for this, that person deserves a raise, because to make the gills the Martine logo and then like a scratch, just genius. But we're gonna do 2 different eye looks, but I'm filming this pretty early in the morning. I have a lot to do today, so we're gonna do both looks at the same time. You'll see what I mean. I used to do this a lot because it's a very easy way to make 2 different eye looks look cohesive, and I think it'll just be fun to do like super contrasting looks. So I'll grab my primer and blend my highlighter a bit, and we will play with the palette. Okay, so like I said, we are going to kind of do both of our eye looks at the same time. So I'll put a color here, put a color here, put a color here, put a color here. But we'll just be using different shades. I just want to get a eye look that is using different shades, but is still a cohesive shape and is still cohesive with the light and dark. So that's what I normally do when I wear 2 different eye looks. Yes, I do wear them out of the house, to family functions, to the store, whatever I gotta do. And listen, nobody cares. Nobody cares, and I love it. It makes me happy. So I want to start. I've got a couple of my dual-ended Sigma brushes that come in the Sigma palettes, and I am going to start this eye over here. We are going to start actually with the pop of red in this palette. I love that we have a pop of red in here. Now we have a lot of blues, and that's why I wanted to do the swatches for y'all and kind of swatch them out so that you could see the differences in the blue, because this palette is definitely for a blue lover. If you don't like blue shadow, you're not gonna like this palette. For me, I love blue, and I love that we have some silvery tones, but the pop of red, like a little blood in the water maybe, I just love. So I'm going to pick this up on my brush. I'm gonna make sure I don't have any creases in my primer, and I'm going to start just by pressing this right in my socket, and then out here I'm gonna bring it up a little bit. I have deep set eyes, and I like to extend the shadow right out here just to help kind of open my eye up. But we're starting off with the red. I'm not gonna be too worried about blending right now. I'm just gonna press that shade on, and then I'll go back and lightly blend, but it doesn't have to be perfect at this stage of the look, you know? Okay, I want to go in with this eye, Larry, this beautiful blue shade. I'm really attracted to this color. When I opened the palette up, when I saw the photos online, I just thought this looked like such a pretty blue. So I'm going to put this in the same place that I put the red shadow, just like this. So I really want to have these looks be super contrasting. So I think we're gonna do a full-on blue eye look over here. I absolutely love blue shadow, so I think this is gonna be really fun. And I think having a red in this palette also makes it versatile, because you can mix the red with the blues and create a beautiful purple shadow. I have done that with my Resurgence collection palette from Unearthly. If you want to check out those videos, if you're like, what do you mean? I don't know how to make shadows. I have a true red in my palette and a bright blue, and I show you in my videos like how to mix them to create your own custom color. So of course the shades in this palette, like this isn't a true red, it's more of a deepened red, but the same concept, like you could definitely mix them to make a purple. Back over to our red eye, I'm gonna pick up a little bit of this top shade right here, this kind of gray, almost like concrete color. And I've got that on the other side of the Sigma brush, And I'm just using a little bit, and we're gonna buff and blend out that red so that we have a nice fade and no harsh lines, but we're bringing in that gray, so it's gonna be a little murky. I'm thinking like blood in the water type of vibes, something like that, you know? I thought this was such a fun concept for Halloween, like a different take with the Jaws theme. I would love to know what you think. I just thought it was really fun and different and creative. Okay, I'm loving the way this is blending out. So we're gonna come over here to the blue eye, and we are going to go in with this baby blue shade right here. I love how it says Mayday in the middle. I thought that was really cute. So I've got that light blue shade called Ben, and I picked up a little too much on my brush. So I'm going to take my time just kind of buffing and blending this shade, just kind of back and forth. Both of the mattes are blending so beautifully. I'm feeling like this is exactly the quality I expect from Martine. So I'm just going to buff and blend. All right, so I think both of these are looking how I want them to look. I want to go in with a lower lash line shade. So let me look at what I want to do over here. I definitely think if it were me, I would love to have one more red shade. One more red shade, maybe a true vibrant red or a deep dark red. Something to give me just a little more. But for the lower lash line, maybe we will just go in with this shade right here called Bart. I think that could be fun. We'll do Bart on this side. And then over here, we definitely have some options. So over here for this side, we'll do Alex right over here. Okay, so I've got that shade Bart, and I'm just going to press this onto the lower lash line and then buff and blend. I think this gray is going to be really pretty with the red. This is just a brush from my Sigma favorite set. We'll be restocking. I'm just going to buff it like this. And then I'm going into the shade Alex. I'm going to stamp that right under my lower lash line. And then blend that back and forth. So we have this kind of stormy blue, almost leaning a little gray. I really like this one. I think this is a really pretty tone. Probably one of my favorite colors in the palette for sure. Okay, I'm gonna deepen up the outer corner with the matte black shade called Sean. And I'm just kind of stamping this at the lash line right here on my lid, and then I'm gonna kind of bring it out at an angle. I'm gonna layer it on top of the red and gray that we have out here, and then I'm slowly going to blend. This black is very pretty. I think it fits the palette, but Martine Cosmetics does tend to put blacks in their palette. So if you have a bunch of their palettes, you kind of know how their black shades are. So I'm just going to blend it a bit like this. And then for the other eye, we will deepen up with a navy shade. All right, so that was the black shade called Sean, and now we're gonna use the navy shade right over here to deepen up our outer corner. This is called Martine, and I'm going to put this in the exact same placement as we did the black on the other eye, just using a navy instead. So this is a really pretty deep navy shade, and I do think Martine does a good job of giving like light shades, dark shades, mid-tone shades in their palette, which can definitely let you create like versatile looks. You know, you can do drama or no drama if you want, but those are blending so easily into each other. I mean, they're all blues, so they should, but the undertones and everything are working super well. Really, really pretty. I'm into our red, blue, dark looks, but now I'm going to go in with a shimmer. I'm excited about these shimmery shades. So I want to use these two right here, the A and the Y. So I want to use Leonard and I want to use Nancy. So we're going to do Leonard right over here. I'm going to pick the shadow up on my brush. I'm going to spray my brush with some makeup mist, setting spray, whatever you want, after I have the shadow on it, and then we're going to pack that all over our lid. Okay, now I've got the shade Leonard. I'm just going to put this all over the lid. I'm pressing it on first, and then I will blend like this so I can get in all my little wrinkles and crinkles. I really like the way the red crease is looking with the gray and black. I think that's looking really like sultry and cool. I'm gonna grab a little bit more of that matte red and just use that to buff and make sure I have a nice blend like this. And then we'll go in with that navy shimmer. Yeah, so I showed you, right? That was Leonard, and now Nancy. We're going in over here on our blue eye. All right, so after I got the shadow on my brush, I sprayed my brush, and now I'm just going to pack and then blend. I love a good monochromatic eye. Doing a all blue eye or all green or all purple, I feel like it's just so pretty and it always just blends so easily. Oh, I'm so into it. Now, to tie the looks together, even though we have different eye looks, but we have shimmer and we have mattes and we have depth on the outer corner, I want to use the same inner corner shade, and we have a nice shade here. I could definitely use the face highlighter as well to kind of pull it all together, but I want to use this shade, this really sparkly white shade called Ellen. All right, so I'm gonna pop that shade right here on my inner corner. After I picked up the shadow on my brush, I did spray it with a little bit of setting spray. So I'll just kind of wrap like this, and that's gonna be our shadow look. I do want to add some liner though with y'all, so let's do that. I think we'll be able to use all of the liners, honestly. Just going back and forth, making sure I change my brushes. So this red look definitely has more contrast just because it's not a monochromatic red look, whereas this one all blue. But I'm feeling it. Okay, let me grab the liners and we'll use these together. Okay, so I'm gonna do the blue pencil in the waterline on this eye. Now I'm gonna take the blue liquid liner, which is definitely like blending with the blue look, but this is another formula that I know and love. I mean, like I said, I tried it and I was like, oh, I've got to buy I've got to buy the black shade, and I saw that they also have a brown, so I need to buy that one as well. Let's do the gray in the waterline, and this one is called Anthracite. So we'll just put this, sorry, it's hard to film and talk and do the waterline. So I'm just going to put that right down here in the lower lash line. And then we will do the navy on the top lashes. That way we can use all 4 liners on the eyes. And you see how these glide? They're a pencil, so you can keep them always sharp, but it's also not like I'm really having to tug. to get the pigment there. So I think we used 11 shades out of the palette. I'm going to throw on lining. Nope, I already threw on liner. I just want to throw on mascara and a lash. And I think I'm going to pick out a lip liner to go under this lip oil, and I will be back. We'll kind of talk about this collection. I'll maybe tell you like my favorite. All right, y'all, I threw on some mascara and a half lash to finish off our look. Let's kind of talk about this collection piece by piece. So I did put on my Half Magic Ruby Slippers lip, and then I layered the lip oil from Martine over the top of it. CJ is the shade. So I am excited to see Martine Cosmetics expanding into a new product, lip oils. These are pretty. They are sheer, but they do have some pigment to them. So you could see in the lip swatches that they do have a little bit of a tint, but definitely very sheer. I think this is a really nice formula. It's more of a gloss oil type of hybrid in my opinion. Very, very shiny, very, very beautiful. And I really like the packaging too. Like the blood spatter, like water and then blood. I'm into that. That is a detail I appreciate. The liners, of course, these are new shades, but not a new to me product. They can make these in 1,000 shades and I'll be like, yes, give them to me, because I love the formula of the pencil. It lasts in my waterline. The liquid liner glides so easily. I'm into them. Now for blush, in case you're curious, I am wearing Unearthly Burst and Mellow, and the highlighter, this is probably the standout for me in the collection. If you really like the theming of this collection, but you don't want to buy everything, you just want to get a piece of the collection, you want something themed, I really like this highlighter trio. I love the Shark Zone, like the embossing, or yeah, embossing. It's like printed down in there, so it feels really nice. You do get a nice mirror in this palette, and then I think the highlighters inside are super beautiful, and you have these big imprints in the pan. So if you're wanting a piece of the collection for like this Jaws Shark Attack type of theme, Mayday collection, and you just want to buy one thing, I would recommend this. This is probably my favorite. I just think it's the cutest, the funnest, and then maybe like a lip oil of your choice. I think the orange one is my favorite because it's just a warm tint on the lips, and I like this shade. So these two would probably be my favorite. Of course the eyeliners, because those are like an always favorite, but if I'm looking at this collection as a whole, those are the two that stand out to me. This palette, again, the packaging, win, win, win. The formulas inside are consistent with what I know and expect from Martine Cosmetics. Very beautiful, quality shimmers, quality mattes. This is a blue palette. It is blue. You see, it's blue. If you do not like blue, this is not the palette for you. I like blue though, and I'm into both of my looks. So I would love to know, do you like this theme as much as I do? I just think it's super duper fun. I think the packaging on everything is standout, and I think Martine Cosmetics is just a brand that is very fun with their packaging and themes, and very consistent when it comes to their quality. So that makes me super duper happy. I hope you are having an amazing day. I will link to everything I talked about down below. I will also link to my Martine Cosmetics playlist in case you are curious about this brand. I want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I will see you very soon in another video. So don't forget to subscribe. Bye.